Got it. Give me a second to get rid of it up.
It's okay. So,
well, I guess obviously I'll go.
I will roll you something before you go off. Alright. So Zeke is not at the apartment.
Okay. I'd be worried if I knew that she was supposed to be here, but since I don't.
You do not. So, you go. We can just skip past the whole, going up to the desk saying hello.
Right.
Back. He will be in. He'll be in the same ward. He'll be working on what he was working on yesterday, whatever that was. Oh.
Bottles are attacking.
No, my wrist rest keeps falling off the desk, and I do not like that. So he is in the personal development ward, round the back again.
Okay.
And he'll be tapping on his tablet.
I guess walk up. Hello, sir.
Ah, back again. You're certainly eager.
Yes, sir.
Right. The wheel should still be in the cabinet. You didn't take it back with you. If you need a reminder of the memories.
Let's see if I don't need. Let's see if I can do it from my memory. Otherwise, yes, we will need it.
All right. Well, the first lesson was, knowing exactly what you're trying to extract and decodify. The second lesson will be putting it into practice. So, you do remember what you learned from the sources, right? You did, right? You said you copy-pasted them, right?
Yes.
So if you could do that again, just copy-paste it into the chat.
Come on, computer. Why are you moving so sluggishly? First one. God. And second one. Third one. Fourth one.
Okay. So, and he'll just kind of nod as you repeat the information, and he'll be like, I see an entirely average code, but to do anything more advanced than that would simply be luck. So, it's nothing to be disappointed by. Right. Now tell me, I suppose I should ask your thoughts before I superimpose my own thoughts onto you. Well, what would you do with this information if you were to apply it to, let's keep it easy and say other objects? Think about the keywords and what they represent. A physical manifestation would be the easiest.
I think I would use one of these as a basic understanding of how to apply a change to the object I'll be manipulating. The idea being that once I use these as a template to fit in other objects' qualities so that I can manipulate them better than just guessing ad hoc.
Right, right. And he'll just kind of push over the coaster that was on the table, and it's in the shape of a square.
Okay.
So, this is the most basic of principles. If you look at the shape of the coaster and the shape that you have in as a code, it's entirely digital. So let's ignore what you've learnt about physics and whatnot. Baby steps, after all.
Right. All right. So, I see. I try to basically see if I can sort of. My guess is he's asking me to basically turn it into a wheel or a circle. So that's what I'm going to be attempting
So
to
it'll be just to simplify things. It'll be an attack roll. The coaster has its own die pool, and you'll be using your SFX. So you can choose what number your die will be. And considering it's a practice, it won't actually take away your sources.
Okay.
So you can do the multiplication thing if you want.
Right now, I'm gonna.
Was it addition? Yeah, it's addition. Multiplication is not addition.
Yeah.
Yes.
Multiplication would make it a lot scarier.
It would. Maybe when you're unawakened.
Cool. I think I'm going to use source 4, not necessarily because it's the highest roll, but because it's the one that seems I can most manipulate into it. Because it's basically that one seems to be about just the basic how it's built. The other one seems to be more about its purpose. This one is the only one that seems to be that it's a basic concept of what it is. So right now the basic thing is it's a square coaster. I'm going to change it into it's a circle coaster. Doesn't sound right, does it? But anyway.
Okay, so let's just say for this practice, there's there's like a basket of bentos, so you can have max PP.
Got it.
I was gonna say batteries. Just eat some batteries, then you can get max PP.
Got it.
So
all right.
You have 5 die, right? If you can just if you can just roll anyway, because I need to know what the effect dies will be and stuff like that.
Okay.
Rather than just saying you have a D8, blah 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 blah.
All right. Then yeah. So without using Chuak, what the fuck? God. All right.
Ku Cullen.
Thank you. Without using Ku, to boost it, I'm just gonna use I'm not gonna boost my magic, so it's just gonna be straight up. So it's 40, 10 plus D8.
All right. So you're just using your standard 5 die pool.
Yes, at the moment.
All right. So.
All
right. So those will be all 4s, which is actually better than one of them.
Yep.
So. Alright, are you going to spend to add another 4 to make it a 12?
Yeah, I will.
Alright.
Just in case you're curious, the reason why Raph wasn't overblowing it was because he wants to see what its baseline is before he starts adding and modifying things.
Alright, so you beat it. And like Alun said, since it's digital, it will crudely change its form. But since you only beat it by a 1, it's not like it just hard shifted. It kind of stubbornly turned into it.
Got it.
And you'll be like, interesting. You served some restraint. I was half expecting you'd blow the resources you had available to you on one roll.
I thought I'd basically I need to know what my baseline is before I start seriously adding to it. But even that, I did push it a little bit. But without knowing where I baseline at, I cannot get a good, accurate gauge of where I'm at, can I?
Well, no, I suppose not. 4 is the average, after all. Because the code is numbers, so that's why he's talking about numbers. It's not just a meta thing.
Got it. Alright. Can I try again? Now let's see. Can I see how good I am? Can I see what my max should be?
Certainly. If I get this correctly, your maximum should be 8, because if you add the 2 4s together.
Wait, I thought you could only use one of each number.
Does it say that?
Well, I only have 1 4, so I can't. I didn't think I could basically multi-add them.
I thought you could.
Can I?
You can. It's like you can do 2 + 2 + 2 to make a 6. So it's just that if you go over 7, that's when they start to break. But you can add them as many times as you want them. So if you had like 7 1s, you could add all 7 1s together.
Right, but if I only have 1 1.
Yeah.
I thought I only have 1 of each of these.
No.
Okay, hold on.
You have 4 1s. You have 4 1s, 4 2s, 3 3s, 3 4s.
Okay. Okay. I thought. Got it. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
You've got to remember that it is me playing a maths character.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Okay. So you said that basically by blowing my was it basically if I don't permanently burn it if I blow out, right?
No,
so I can't theoretically do.
This is training mode. He's. I mean, I'll roll you an intuition.
No. I mean, sure, but I get. I just want to make sure that because then I'll do 3 4s. Obviously.
I know you get it, but I don't know if Raph gets it. You know what I mean?
Understood.
So do you want me to? Do
Yes,
you want
please.
to roll your understanding? I can roll your intuition in the background anyway.
I'll roll understanding then. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it's useless to. It's useless to say he's spending PP or not because I have a PP surplus here, so.
All right, so I guess what Raph would understand about himself is that even though you said that he had like a pretty good view of himself, he's like trying to coordinate things in a way that he hasn't done before, the whole calculation thing. Usually he seems a bit more, I'm just going to do it because it feels right, but he kind of feels like he's being guided.
Got it.
And that it's like he's riding a bike and there's huge training wheels on it.
Understood.
So he's riding the bike, but it's not like he's doing BMX.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
All right.
So are you going to spend?
I will.
Well, you don't need to add die because, I mean, 5 8s. You can only add an additional 1 more to make it a 20.
Well, quick question. Why can't I? Is there a maximum to how many I can add to a number? Because you said I can add 7 1s. If I had 7 1s, I could add all 7 together. So I mean, stupid question, but can I basically add everything together? Basically, take all my 4 1s.
Once you go over 7. That's where it stops. So if you added 4 plus 3, if you had 4 plus 3, you'd only add a 1, and then it would,
Got it. So anytime I'm adding together, it doesn't matter how many I'm adding together. Once I pass the 7 mark, I have to stop with whatever I've done, right?
Yeah. But if you add stuff that naturally goes over, it will go over. So you can do 7 plus 8
4.
or
I
7
can do
plus.
4 would be the highest combination I can get. I would
Right.
create 7 with I would do with a 4. Yeah, 2 4, 3 and a 4 to create 7. Then add another 4 to basically hit that up to 11. That would be the highest I can do with what I have right now.
Yeah.
So I will do that.
So it'll be 11 then.
Yes. And then
Right.
I'll use. There's no reason to boost. No, actually, because I can get it for an effect die. So Ku will also boost us. Hold on, let me read what it says. Let's read. I want to read his power real quick because I don't think it. No, because it has the. Average +2 and even was rolled. It gives me the luck of the Irish, which is a little trick, but not that's. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything at this point.
No, it doesn't. Like, the only thing it would do is you get like the 3 to your total without spending, but it's not like you're fighting the coaster. So.
Yeah, so it really is. I just wanted, even if it had a small advantage, I would use it, but it really has no advantage at all, so I won't. And again, no reason to really add more die unless I need it for a larger effect. Come on. What the hell? God damn it.
So I guess that will be a 33.
Hope so. I would have an 11. Yeah, basically, once I would roll, it would be a total of 33.
Oh,
Do you want me to roll?
Yeah, just for my own reference.
All right.
It's just to show like the role represents you doing it before you
Right.
kind of channel it. So that's a pretty good role.
Yeah, pretty decent.
It doesn't beat a 33. Like I said, I'm still tinkering with things.
Oh,
But
yeah,
for
no,
now, with the whole like once you use a distinction, like it's just gone forever once you burn it out. That's meant to be the fallback. So you can't just stack one distinction. You gotta like save it for the really important moments.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
No, I definitely get that this isn't set in stone. That basically, as we see it in game, it would be either raised or lower depending on how crazy it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I completely understand that. As long as that was there, and it is, so all good.
Alright. Well, tried.
Damn, it really did. It really did not want to be a circle.
It did. Even if it added the 5, it wouldn't be able to do it. So this time it smoothly transitions into a circle. There's no I don't want to be a circle resistance. It just does it.
Sure. Obviously, this is just in a training room, so these are just temporary objects. But unlike with my normal distinction, once I release it, for better terminology, it will revert back to its natural state. Am I right in assuming that I've now changed its natural state to this? Correct?
For this object, yes, it's a permanent change. For other ones, they're not as malleable. This coaster was meant to change, so once it was changed, it wasn't going to change back. It is an object, after all. It doesn't have its own will. It simply has a resistance that you easily broke past.
All right. So then certain objects and then most living things would basically revert over time. Correct?
Yes, there is a certain class of mythopoetic ability that has permanent effect rather than the temporary effects that most people tend to have.
Ah.
Metal, these are blue skills. And Matter, the only person you know has a blue skill, like publicly you know, is Suzuka's. change thing.
First off, quick question. A blue skill is...
Something that has permanent or long-lasting effects.
Got it. Remember, I've never played any of the Persona games, so I wouldn't understand the
This
terminology.
This is homebrew. It's something I made up.
Right, so I really wouldn't have understood that then, I take it.
No.
Got it. And then you talk about...
let's just use the easiest example. So you know how Reiko's Sake skill is a +2 to either attack or defense for 2 rounds?
Right.
If it was a blue skill, it'd be a +2 for like a few weeks or something.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, I think I do. So when can we buy blue skills?
You don't buy them. Technically, all of the family heirloom skills should be blue skills. That's why I highlighted it in people's skills, in people's sheets. You know how I made a color for each one on your character sheet, where it says your SFX is.
I did not. I noticed that you colored it. I did not understand the reason for the coloring. Now I obviously do.
Yeah, and that's for everybody else who didn't know as well. These skills are meant to be stuff that has a pretty long-lasting effect, if not permanent. So
sweet. All right. Could we see a little bit of how this does in an aggressive format in combat?
In combat, I see.
Or am I not ready for that yet?
I would say exploring the other options rather than the literal route might be in your best interest before you go in a more combat environment. I've simply told you about the physical manifestation, which is the easiest to wrap logic around. But when you think of the word round, what characteristic traits come to your mind? Calling somebody a square, that has mythological importance. It's always described as somebody as stiff and unmoving, somebody who sticks to the rules, somebody who is easy to predict.
I would say round. I mean, there's the obvious. He's a fatty. What else?
That would be rotund, but it's still a premise that can be linked together.
Maybe that's round. The only other thing I can maybe come up with is he might be somebody who's like easy to push around.
I suppose I should give you a bit more of a clue. This is your first time over. Let's change the word, or rather, let's move on to an equivalent word. What do you think when you think of the word curvy?
Females?
By gosh. I guess you are a male child of mine. Good.
I guess with curvy, I mean, I could distort it out to maybe somebody who basically doesn't, who changes a lot, like his or her ideas, maybe. Curvy, sort of like in a wavy road, sort of like in a wavy thought pattern.
I see, so somewhat like distortion then.
Yes.
What if you made the word a cycle rather than curvy? It still has the same round aspect to it. And what do you think of when it comes to cycles?
I would continue on with the same element, that basically this is definitely somebody who switches its positions as fits the needs.
Or somebody who's doomed to repeat themselves in a pattern.
Oh, right, I see that now. You're sort of locked into a position.
But I was going to tell you more about the personal aspects of people, but they're a lot harder to manipulate than physical aspects.
I see that now. Yes.
If we go to the sources, the wheel is round because it is objectively the best shape for the wheel. The wheel is round because that is what it has to be. Do you recognize the difference between those two statements?
I think so. The first one is sort of more or less going on to why it's round, and the second one is just basically merely stating that it will always be that way, as opposed to it being other shapes, other mentalities.
Right. The fourth source, it's hard locking it into it because that is what it has to be. But the third source, it is simply the best hypotheses. If you're able to get to the higher numbers of the code, then that particular statement would become a lot more specific rather than the general terms it uses. So I suppose with that in mind, we can do the next stage of our lesson. For this, I suppose Kit will do. And then you'll just hear a clank, clank. And you'll kind of see like a distressed android. Like it's currently unpainted. And it's the cell of what you saw a couple months ago back in the Jeffrey domain.
I think,
yeah.
Go.
So you know how, like in sci-fi movies, androids have the weird, like, the bold look?
Right.
It kind of looks like that.
Okay.
She's still in remodeling, but don't mind her. Still has the basic functionalities. I can assign a personality to it. What's your taste in women? Or rather, no, I'll find out what your taste is first.
Okay. Okay.
Can you describe some traits? If you have somebody in particular in mind, the more you tell me, the more they'll be able to perfectly imitate them.
Holy crap. Okay, give me a minute. I have to basically think on exactly how much I can screw Raph over at the moment.
Beep boop.
Just to confirm, are you talking more physical or mental traits here, or any combination of the two?
You can roll Raph's understanding. He just simply said traits.
I'm going to be adding a negative to this.
Right.
Sweet!
He means all of them, obviously.
Alright. Let's see. Alright, I mean, somebody who's very self-assured of themselves, but understands exactly. They have an understanding of the greater world. Somebody who can enjoy life, but hold on, damn it. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to blank at the moment. Hold on. Crap.
Oh god, I was muted. I said that's all right. I will open the clips and mute my mic, but then I saw my mic was muted.
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right, so right now my brain's hitting a small stone tablet here.
Hi.
So, yeah. Can I get out by just basically saying he accidentally sort of describes a combination of both Katsumi and Hibiko.
Alright, so
Sorry, go.
he'll just finish listening to it, and you'll be like, you're describing almost two entirely different people.
No, that's just sort of a general description of just. I'm not locked into one specific type of person. I mean, there's a lot of. I don't yet know any. And yes, he is babbling like this. It's just. There's a lot of different people out there, so it's just I'm not set into one particular person. I mean, there's just different types of people out there, and so whoever attracts to you, not necessarily whoever you fit your mold, right?
Oh, you're pitching to the choir here, son.
True. So yeah.
Very well. I'll try to tabulate these into a more cohesive form. And he'll just kind of input that in. He'll be like, right. I should have somewhat of a mixture between the two, but well, you can't really get a happy mixture between serious and light-hearted.
There's sorry. There's. It's not just specifically those two elements. It's not like they have to have only one of those two elements. There could be other. Somebody can have other elements to be somebody that I would be interested in. It doesn't just have to be just something like that. There could be other people out there that I like.
If the AI was as easily as programmable to be as nuanced as a human was, we wouldn't have need for humans.
I disagree with that, but okay. Yes, sir.
Right. Well, the point is you're trying to change the person rather than reinforce them. Although you could, I suppose, technically, if you wish to bolster somebody's spirits. You don't always have to be combative with your abilities.
Right, I think I understand what you mean there. Sometimes
if somebody is round, you can reinforce their roundness, to put it more bluntly.
Boost something that they're already doing to basically to make them excel at that. That makes sense.
Right. You can't really make a formula for how the results will play out because there's too many unique contingencies in the world. But at least you can influence it, so its outcome will be similar to what you have in mind, if not exactly the same. So, Kit over there is a mixture of one of the many aspects you could find yourself attracted to, using your words.
So you want me to try and basically boost that element, correct?
It would certainly be, a good experiment for you to see at least.
Yes, sir. All right.
I guess this will be a complicated role since it's a social thing rather than you trying to change who they are.
Do I get my -20 for females?
If you want to
apply here.
Yes.
I can't not use those and just use the bonuses. It's fun to use the negatives as well because he just doesn't understand women, so it would make sense now.
All right, so the same as before, you can set up your die pool and then use the code.
Got it. Out of curiosity, how fast does the cooldown kick in? Normally.
Honestly, it's on discretion. If you're not burning through them in a day, then there isn't really going to be as much of a cooldown. I would basically keep it to one distinction you can burn through before being like, whoa.
Got it.
But like I said, I need to see it before I decide.
Right. I was just curious if basically I should basically sort of plan on basically always trying to get for a 7, just with using combination of numbers, or should I basically be more cautious with more cautious with it. So let's try now for basically trying to burn for combinations to 7 until I burn out.
The general idea is that you want to keep it around the 6. And that is like just above the average of a dice roll.
All right. So, let's see.
With your die pool, anyway.
Right. All right. So use magic. Use that. So same roll, just add the D100 minus 80. 100 minus 20. Right. Wow.
All right. So that 3 will be it will be a 60.
Yeah. So if rolls go higher, it does not override it, or overrides all dice regardless of roll.
No, the roll you wouldn't be making the roll. This is just so you can see how the power works. So
got it.
It'll be 60 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, which is 18. So 78 minus 20. 1 minute.
It's 110 minus 20, so 90.
Wait, how did it?
Wait, 110 minus 40. I added 20 in originally. So
how did I get that high? 60 was go.
60 minus 20 is 40, plus 10 would be plus 50, which would be plus 15 from the 9 and the 6, which would be 65.
Well, no.
All the dice are 6s. They don't count.
Yeah. Okay.
It overrides all dice regardless. If I get all 10s, they would get knocked down. But if I get all 1s, they would get knocked up. So
if it's 60 and all the others are 6, that would make 90 minus 20 would be 70.
All right.
Isn't it? Yeah.
5 dice, so yeah. So I got a 70.
All right.
So.
Why do you have 5 die before the D100? It should be 3. But never mind, it's just a practice.
I thought I was adding my magic to that.
Oh. I guess you could if you spend the PP, but...
Oh, no, I then take out 2 6s. It's not a difficulty here. I assumed because it's a magical element, I was adding the magic from me and Koo.
It's just like a complicated social roll. That's what I asked
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mistake then. It's easy to just knock 12 out of that. So
yeah,
it would be...
that's fine. That's why 58. I got the 70.
Yeah,
that's why I got the 78 minus the 20.
Yep.
All right, so I will roll to see how well Kit takes it, because it is. So I guess it will be standardized. So 3d8 plus d100. All right. So I guess he'll just kind of look placidly. And what was Raph trying to do, like when he was applying this?
He was going to take in one of those elements was sort of a playful attitude, so he was trying to jack that up. So it'd be a lot more not necessarily comical, but a lot more of a happy element to it.
So
a lot more basically. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Because when people think of circles, they just think of soft things as well. At least I do. Maybe because there's no edges.
That's because we think of tits all the time.
Oh.
It's not a bad thing, dude. I'm just explaining it.
Just a guy thing. So.
Yeah, it's just a guy thing. Alright. Alright, so she'll be like, thank you for your help. I really appreciate it, Raph.
You're welcome. All right.
So this is how you see an ideal woman. That is certainly interesting. I feel vulnerable. She'll just say that, smiling.
Okay. That one I did not expect. Really?
I feel soft and tender. I feel as if I need to know you better, that I can depend on you, that you can protect me.
I can never let Akira hear this.
Is that not what you want?
I was trying for a more playful attitude than that.
Playful?
Less serious.
Less serious?
Just
Well,
trying.
it wouldn't it be less serious because we're not in a life or death scenario? It is simply a friendly bond between two individuals. Is that not playful and youthful?
Okay, I can see that.
My apologies for not imitating or getting that across clearly.
No, I was trying for something very particular, and I don't think I necessarily nailed it. That's all.
I see. Well, even though I am simply a program, I still have the innate pushbacks of these personality traits. As you master your abilities, surely you'll be able to meld things as to your particular vision rather than somebody else's interpretation of it.
Practice makes perfect.
And it'll just kind
Smile.
of blink and you'll kind of shift. So she'll put her robotic hand on her robotic hip, which is actually really wide. And she'll just be like, and she'll just kind of shake her finger and be like, well, that's it. You can do it.
Sort of get a little laugh out of that. Oh, by the way, should I be adding one of my distinction modifiers for this, or is this a completely new set?
I guess it would be. You can use like
Because I figured it's the neutral modifier that is basically what I've been working on so far.
the neutral modifier was you getting the code, but you can use the standardized numbers in your personal SFX if you're trying to manipulate the distinction somebody has that's already in your slot. So if somebody had the distinction of I'm a female and you had the distinction I'm a female in your slots, then yes, you could use it to balance those out. Like if somebody had the distinction of being a red hand member and you had the distinction of the red hand member in your slots, you could use it against them in combat as well.
Alright, I think I think I think it doesn't have to be exactly. It would be similar elements, right?
It doesn't have to be exactly similar, but the more similar it is, the lower the DC.
Got it.
So that's why the personality thing wasn't as clear cut as the change in the object thing.
Okay.
So I guess another scenario would be like, say if there's no, let's say a girl is scared of ghosts, and you could try to placate her. And as a result, if you do well, she'll temporarily not be afraid of ghosts. She'll never be afraid of ghosts again.
Right. All right. One element of round was just trying to work through this element. Hold on, let me pull it up because I'll be looking at this a lot.
It's basically something that's less that's more based on interpretation rather than how much I can write it down hard. So
Right,
if you have an idea, I can always work with you on it.
Right.
I
understood that. I'm just trying to. I mean, obviously, I just need to look at these to get a basic idea of of how it is. So, give me a second.
So Alan would suggest that you look at the distinctions of a lot of things before deciding which one you want to take. Because having a critical eye is important rather than just taking everything you see. Because slots are expensive. And honestly, the most value you'll get is taking somebody's personal distinction, because then you can always help them in relation to their distinction. But the thing with those is that once you burn it out, you can't get it back. So it's something you should reserve for real critical moments if they really need to succeed.
I'll actually ask Alan this. What is your opinion about using one of my own distinctions?
Using it on yourself
to boost myself in times of necessity.
That is always a option, especially since you'll be the most willing to it. You can't really say whether your companions would be as accepting.
And they'd be putting a lot of weight. If I take somebody else's distinction, I would still be able to use it on other items apart from that person. Just it would work best with that person, correct?
Exactly. People who tend to have strong presences in this world tend to have particular distinctions that are unique to them and can only be applied to them. By those who have less of a grasp on the world tend to fall in line with the rest of the average populace.
I'm going to have some embarrassing questions to talk to my friends about next year.
Either way, your ability is certainly diverse. I guess that is its greatest strength and its weakness. Knowing that you can manipulate almost anything is, well, a boon, but trying to channel that into specific directions is very hard. It's trying to grab the universe with your palm.
And it puts me into a really awkward position of I forget the exact name for it. Choice paralysis. There's a proper word for it. I forget what it's called.
Right.
I have too many options. Nope.
I was just going to say, freedom isn't exactly a relief.
No, it's not.
With that in mind, do you feel more confident in your skill sets now?
I think I have a better understanding of how I can apply it to things. I think now it's just going to be an element of having to ground it. Was it just pound out a lot of actual attempts and see how the average comes out. I'm going to need
right. Remember that you can always burn through these particular codes which you find inconsequential simply for the practice. You can flush it out of your system once you've used it, or you can get a weak code, say of source 1 or source 2, and go through it quickly and see what happens.
Right. I think I understand. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot about how. We'll see how I do. Go.
Since you seem to be emotionally aware, I would keep these practice attempts solely on objects and environmental effects, rather than on people themselves. I suppose demons are a blurred line. You could probably use it on demons as well, simply for your own social reputation.
I have made enough colossal mistakes to be well aware of things I shouldn't be doing willy-nilly.
Well, it's a good thing you have people who have vested interest in your success.
And I got friends who watch my back.
It's cost me a lot of money to keep people that are unsavory away from you.
Really?
I do believe you had a display in which you had a vessel of infinite power that was as small as a card. That was quite the revelation.
Thank you, then.
Let us hope you're worth the investment, then.
I will endeavor to prove it true. I will endeavor to prove it right.
I will see you then. I still have my own attempts myself.
I understand, sir. Thank you.
Right. And we can go to somebody else now. Also, if you ever feel like buying slots, you technically buy them from Alan, so not from Japan.
Actually, just real quick, then, can I basically actually purchase seconds? I was going to say that real quick before we cut scene. If I can buy a slot.
It's basically in game. You'll be like it'll be like something like teaching you how to further your limits, aka like being able to hold more.
Could I spend the points now and do that now, or wait till another time?
Yeah, that's fine. You can do it now.
Okay.
I'll add another row to your personal effects table.
All right.
All right. So we've got. I know that Ryu's page says Xmas, but did he want to do something specifically?
Considering the fact that last time he talked to his family kind of went with the whole family, he still needs to talk to his brothers about the whole family thing. And find out what exactly is receive and find out about being a bomb child.
Alright, so it'll be more heirloomy kind of stuff like what Raph's been doing.
So in a sense, I think Ryu's the only one who doesn't know about the bomb children.
Yeah. I mean, Akira doesn't know.
I don't think Reiko does either.
God damn. No, Katsumi talked about them yesterday.
She did?
Yes. She talked about them at some point.
I mean, yesterday, for me, that
she
was
talked
a week
about
ago.
them when
know.
she was drunk as well. How Katsu
And you
thinks
saw all the visions.
Yes. Reiko also saw the visions, which make a lot more sense now.
You're also part of the one of the 3 great families. Of course you should know.
How do you know?
Bomb children or bomb children?
It's not exactly something that's talked about. It's like it's like
It'd be a page in the history book.
Oh, in the mythopoetic history book, I suppose.
Which she would be taught. Yeah.
Remember when your great leader made a deal with a little Ainu child to save the people from being bombed? Did you remember that, Mika? Oh no. Alright. So what was Akira's plans?
Family time?
I was either gonna spend family time and I was gonna try to like maybe start sending out those Christmas gifts she got for people.
Oh, like post?
Yeah, post or Jeffrey or delivery.
Jeffrey post?
Jeffrey post, I guess, yeah. I mean, I got like some expensive ones. I might try and want to hand deliver those at least. And
could we basically take the take Jeffrey delivery missions to deliver our own packages to ourselves?
That's cheating.
What?
Well, yes, you haven't gone back to your employment from Jeffrey, so you know.
Incredible. Does he not pay you for that? Or does he? It's a very confusing situation. It's a conflict of interest, really.
The payment is the package.
That you paid
get
for.
paid by getting noticed. Duh.
Jeffrey pays his delivery men in exposure, I see.
Yes.
God damn it, Jeffrey.
But remember, we had to wear those outfits and stuff, so yeah.
I cannot think of literally a more worthless thing.
God, yeah.
Thanks, kiddo.
Jeffrey,
You're running a real good racket that people actually listen to for some reason.
I swear he did pay the one time people did.
Oh,
stuff.
of course he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant when they're delivering their own Christmas gifts to people.
Oh.
Yeah. In which case, they're only getting exposure for themselves, to themselves.
No, I meant to the people they want to give them to, that they bought from Jeffrey.
Alright. But anyway, if you want to do it through Jeffrey, it will cost credits, which I assume you have a lot of.
I have a good couple.
I don't know if people have been updating it or not. Because I
I'm
haven't.
updating mine.
I can. It's one of those things where you can figure out in retrospect, but no, I've not been updating mine. But
Oh, that explains stuff.
yeah.
Alright.
But I know exactly
Didn't
all the numbers.
Reiko buy Christmas presents from Jeffrey?
Yeah.
No, not Jeffrey back. It's basically like a loyalty program.
Yeah, which I mean Jeffrey Bank because you get like
No.
Oh.
that
Oh,
is how
yeah.
I
Jeffrey has-
understand it. You put something in, you wait some time, and you
That is another thing.
That's not a
Yeah.
loyalty program.
Jeffrey
that's a
has this thing where he's basically where everything you buy from him basically counts as J credits, which basically
this
will let
one. Yeah, I have that up to date on inventory.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, I could I'd probably pay some J credits to deliver a lot of like the 10 XP ones.
Alright, it'll be... I'd say for the lot, it'll be 30.
30 J credits. Alright, and I'll go try to deliver these.